contact center fraud is rising. So, over the last 2 years, it's grown by 60%, such that 1 in every 700 calls is actually fraudulent. And, we've seen this trend constantly increase, largely because of several things. One, 2 years back, there were a lot more ways in which fraudsters could make money. If you remember, 2 years back, there used to be all of these unemployment benefits and these PPPs. And so there was an entire class of fraudsters that were created that went and found ways to make money out of those schemes. And once those got shut off, they were like, okay, how do we start stealing more money? And they realized going to the contact center and social engineering call center agents is a very, very robust way of stealing money, largely because if you look at most organizations, they're extremely mature on their digital side of things. They've got their digital channel super secure, super protected. They have a list of tools protecting you, but on the voice channel, they have very little, and they are completely on the mercy of their call center agents trying to determine, are they speaking to a good person? Are they speaking to a bad person? And most importantly, these contact center agents are largely rewarded based on customer satisfaction. So they're trying to give the fraudster the best experience they can have. And the best experience for a fraudster is when they can actually move money out or get access to healthcare records and so on. So everything is misaligned in this environment, which is why you're seeing this real increase. And you can see high profile incidents like the MGM hack that happened. It was largely because of, social engineering on the phone. It was a 10-minute phone conversation that took down a $40 billion organization and had them spend $8 million a day to this attack. And so I think that's one big find, that it is programmatically increasing across all the organizations we serve. Let me pause. Does that make sense?
It 100% makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, as a consumer who needs to call from time to time into a call center, I understand, they are trying to give customer experience. And I think it's just so important for us to recognize the obstacles they're up against in trying to do that, because, with deep fakes today, which we'll talk more about, I don't know how they tell. Maybe the answer is Pindrop. Yeah.
Yeah. The answer, one of the answers is Pindrop, right? Like, we're incredibly proud of the work that we do. But you're right. The second big finding is the massive explosion of deep fakes as a tool that these attackers are using in order to get past, the controls that people have put in. One of the really interesting findings is overall, we've seen several customers where 0.1% of all of the calls coming into their call center have some kind of synthetic element to it. But to give you a more easier way to understand this, last year when we were monitoring deep fakes, what we found is we'd see one deep fake attack a month. And then in the first 4 months of this year, across several customers, each of them is seeing one deep fake attack every single day. So for these customers, what they've fundamentally gone from is one attack a month to one every single day. So close to a 450% increase in the amount of deep fake fraud just in the first 4 months compared to all of last year. So that's a meteoric rise in the amount of deep fake attacks that we're seeing. And the year is just beginning.
Yeah. And just to put some numbers, so it's roughly from 12 a year to 365 a year.
Exactly.
Right? It's exponential.
More. Yeah, there are certain customers who are seeing 1 in every 1,000 calls. And, these customers could get tens of thousands of calls every single day. 1 in every 1,000 calls, turning out to be a deep fake. So what it means for some of these customers who are on the real extreme end of these attacks, and these are really large organizations that are suffering this kind of thing, is they're getting a deep fake attack every single hour. So the average turns out to be one a day, but there are certain customers who are getting a deep fake attack every single hour.